So here we have two expressions. What is so special about them? So we have mentioned that completing the square. Yeah, this is the completed square form. We've noticed that there is a big bracket over here, the bracket's over here, and then there's a square outside there. Then we have a constant. We have a constant over here. Now tell me, what is the difference between this and this? What's the difference? What? One is positive, one is negative. What do you mean? You mean the y is positive, the y is negative? The x? The y? The y is negative for which one? Left or right? Right one. So you are saying that this is negative. Then you're saying that this is positive. Is that it? Is that it? Or or do you think there's something more to it? Why is it that you say this is negative? Or is it because of this? And then you say that this is positive because there's a plus over here? Is it right to say that? Why not? After you open the bracket, things may change, right? Because this y value can be positive, can be negative, depending on the value of x. This y value can be positive, can be negative, depending on the value of x also. And of course, there are so many other unknowns over there. The value of h, the value of k. But what we can see, the difference between these two is there is a negative sign outside the perfect square. Okay, use the correct terms. There is a negative sign outside this perfect square. Is there a negative sign outside this perfect square? No. That means it is positive or negative? Positive. This is positive. This is negative. Okay. Next thing. What do you think are some possible values of x minus h squared? Possible values. What could they be? Give me a number. 2. Okay. Maybe it's equal to 2 or any other possible numbers? Any other possible numbers? We just want to make sure we understand fully what this x minus h squared is. Hang on first. Can it be equal to 0? Possible? Think about it. Can it be equal to 0? If you think yes, what is that value of x that makes it 0? If you think no, it is not possible to be 0, why do you think it can't be 0? If you think if you are just grabbing an answer from the thin air, then you are wasting your time. I need you to think. Can it be equal to 0? Okay. Who thinks cannot be 0, but I don't really know why? Oh, okay. Who thinks cannot be 0 and I know why? Okay, Harif, you raise your hand. Can you share what you think? Asians are like that. We very scared to be certain. We always say, I think. So most of the time I also say, I think, because Asians are usually like, okay, anyway, yes. Can you elaborate a little bit because I don't see your point? Let's say, you mean I expand it, is it? Okay, let's say I expand it and then? The negative number will not be 0. H can be 0, but okay, let's say H value is 5. Let's just make it easier, okay, for Harry to explain. Let's say this over here looks like this. Can it be equal to 0? Can this be equal to 0? Can or cannot? Okay, for those who think can, what is the value of x that makes this 0? Do you see it, Harry? What is the value of x that makes it 0? 5, yeah. If x equal to 5, 5 minus 5 is 0. 0 squared is 0. So yeah, it is possible to be 0. Let's change this back to our h. Is it possible for x minus h squared to be 0? Possible or not possible? Possible. When does that happen? When x equals to? When x equals to h. When x equals to h. Because x can take anything, right? If it's equal to h, H minus H is 0. Squared, you get 0. Okay, let's put it back 8, x over here. Okay, any other possibilities? 0 is a special case over here. 2 is just a number that is randomly chosen, right? Are there any other numbers that you think are possible? Okay, hang on for a second. Any other positive numbers that you think are possible? Any other positive number? No? So what positive numbers are still possible? Come on, come on. Number, I want a number. 6. Okay, yeah, 6 is possible. What else? 16 possible. What else? 20. It goes on and on, right? Can it be 19.258? Why cannot? Why cannot? Why cannot? So what if there's a decimal? Why cannot? Okay, who thinks it can be 19.258? Raise your hand. Hey, how come my O-level students also not very sure? Huh? What long time ago? Okay, who thinks cannot? 19.258 cannot. Obviously, it's a number I randomly chose, right? So who thinks cannot? Who thinks can? Only Francis and Winnie think can? The rest unsure. Who is unsure? Raise your hand. Why are you unsure? Did I say perfect square? Okay. Now, how do we decide whether can or cannot? Yeah, square root it. Yeah. Take out calculator, press. Press. Take out calculator, press. Square root 19.258, what do you get? So, can or cannot? Cannot. Why cannot? You get a number, right? So, is there a case where it cannot happen? Okay, we've tried 0, we've tried positive numbers. Can it be equal to negative 25? Choose a nice number. Can it be negative 25? Can or cannot? Okay, who thinks cannot and I know why? Raise your hand. Okay, who thinks cannot but I'm not too sure why? Raise your hand. Who thinks can, it can be done and I know why? And who thinks can, it can be done but I'm not too sure why? Okay, Jie Yang, can you explain? Listen, listen. Oh, okay, he changed his mind. Okay, so remember how I told you to check whether this is possible? How did I tell you to check whether it's possible or not? Square root it, right? So can it be negative 25? What happens if you square root the negative 25 in your calculator? What are they trying to tell you? It's not possible for our syllabus. I just want to add the last part. For our syllabus, not possible. Outside our syllabus, yeah, possible. Okay? Of course, you'll learn more in Poly and or JC. So why is it that negative 25 cannot work? Simply because of this negative over here? Why? Why? Why cannot? Because my calculator gives you an error. That's nonsense explanation. Huh? You must know why your calculator gives you that error. Yes, Junior? Okay, he said negative 5 times negative 5 is a positive number. Why did he talk about negative 5 times negative 5? Okay, if we choose to expand this, we get x minus h times x minus h. Correct? Correct? Right or not? So something times something, you get something squared. Okay, that same something, these two are the same. If one is positive, what is the other one? If this is positive, what must this be? Positive, because they're the same, right? Positive times positive give you? Positive, okay, so equals to positive. What if this is equal to, besides positive, what else can we have? Negative. Okay, let's say this is negative. What will we get over here? Negative. Hey, you multiply, what do you get? Positive. Besides positive and negative, what else can we have? 0. If this is 0, what is this? 0. It gives us 0. So you see, what are the possible outcomes? Positive or 0. Is it possible to get negative? No, it is not possible to get negative. Okay, so next thing I need you to know, to practice a lot, is this, x minus h squared. I want you to be able to tell me a very special number from this completed square form. What is that special number? Okay, so let's say we have this case, x minus 5 squared. I need you to be able to recognize that 5 is a special number in this case. Why? Why is 5 special in this case? Why? Think about it. Why is 5 special? When x equals to 5, why is this special? What happens when x equals to 5? What is 0? Equation? No, there's no equation over here. The expression. When x equals to 5, the expression becomes 0. Okay? So 5. What about x minus 88.2 and I squared? What is the special number that I want you to recognize from this? 88.2. Why? Because, let me help you out. Because when x equals to 88.2, continue. Shufi, are you following? What happens when x equals to 88.2? Hey, don't look at other people, look at it, look at this. What happens when x is 88.2? Expression is 0. Sophia, do you agree? What happens when x equals to 88.2? The whole thing becomes 0. Okay? Let's do it for another one. Okay, let's have x minus 0.524. What is the special number I want you to recognize from this? 0.524. Why? Because when x, you need the first part. Because when x equals to 0.524, the expression equals to 0. Okay? Let's change it a little. Let's have x plus 5 over here. What happens now? What is the special number? What is the special number? Is it 5? I think it should be negative 5. Why? What's so special about negative 5 in this case? What have I been saying? Because when x equals to negative 5, continue. The expression equals to 0. Oh, what about this one? When we have this x plus 88.2, what is the special number I want you to recognize? Okay, negative 88.2. Why? What's so special about negative 88.2? Because when x equals to 88.2, then expression equals 0. Can follow? Okay, then later I'll tell you why do you need to know this, okay? But let me just test you. X plus 8 squared. Okay, what do I want you to recognize from here? What is negative 8? When x equals negative 8, the expression is 0. Okay, I need you to be able to do this. Later I'll tell you why. What about x minus 3 and squared? What was that? What is the value of x that I want you to take note of?
3.
When x equals to 3, expression is equal to 0. Now, of course, x can be many, many things, but I just want you to recognize this special number. Now, next one. Last one already. Okay, what about this one? When x equals to negative 4. Okay, because this is the same as x plus 4, right? The same as x plus 4, right? So when x equals negative 4, then when x equals to negative 4, expression equals to 0. Yes. Now, out of all of this, out of all of this, is it possible for any of this to be equal to 0? Is it possible? Separately, are they possible to get 0? Yes, right. We've seen how it works already. Is it possible to get positive number for these three cases? Possible to get positive number? Yes, right. Is it possible to get negative number? Possible? 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 For those of you who think it is possible, can you tell me a value of x when substituted into any of these gives you a negative number? Is there a value of x? You can choose any sort of x you like. Rational number, irrational number, positive number, negative number, 0. Is there any value of x that gives you? Final answer, negative. Why cannot? And we did it before, right? Negative is positive, and then we try to square root a negative number, we also cannot get it. So, all this must be greater than or equal to 0. Okay? Next thing. I'm going to make slight changes. What if I put a negative sign over here? What can we understand from this? Let's just try this one. Okay? Negative x plus 8 and we square it. What do you think the answer could be? Again, give me numbers. Okay, Francis says it can be 0. Do you all agree? Can this be 0? You think so? Why maybe? Can it be equal to 0? Can or cannot? How do we decide? What have I been telling you? When x equals to, what is the special number? When x equals to negative 8, what happens? Which expression? The whole thing? Is it true? Okay, so you see, I've been doing an exercise with you, right? When x equals to blah, 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 and everybody can recognize it. So, tell me first, what is the special number I want you to recognize from this? 8 or negative 8? What have we been doing just now? When x equals to? When x equals to negative 8. Okay, same thing, didn't change. Although I put a negative sign over here, let's still talk about when x equals to negative 8. Let's look at what happens. When this is negative 8, negative 8 plus 8, what do we get? So this gives us negative 0 square. What does this give us? Hang on first, still get 0, right? Okay, yes, Sophia, question. Do we need to expand this? Let's try expanding it if you want to. So this, we say it was negative 8. So we have negative 8 plus 8. This is substitution, right? Do you want to expand this or do you want to evaluate this? You want to expand it out, a square plus 2ab plus b square? Or do you want to just take negative 8 plus 8 and then we see what happens? We should do that, right? So this gives us negative 0 square, which is, 0. So is it possible to get 0 as one of the answer? Yes, it is. And how do we get it? When x equals to? When x equals to? Negative 8. Is there any difference in the approach? No difference. Still the same. Okay. It is possible to get 0. Or, what else? What else? What else can we get? Random number, come on. Possible random numbers. Negative 5. Possible? Is this actually possible? Let's think about it. X plus 8 square equals to negative 5. Possible or not? Can? How? What should we do? How to solve? Square root what? Square root negative number? Shall we do that? Okay, what should we do?
Bring the negative.
Times negative. Draw, what were you about to say? Bring the negative over, right? When you say bring the negative over, I'm sure I didn't teach you that. Right? What did I say? I say divide by negative 1 on both sides. I say multiply by negative 1 on both sides, right? Okay, let's do that. What do we get? Is this possible? We learned about it earlier on, right? It is possible. Because now I can square root my 5. Right? Okay, so this is possible. Yeah, okay, negative 5 is possible. What else? Give me other numbers. 5? 5? 5. Okay, possible or not? Possible. Okay, let's try. Negative x plus 8 squared equals to 5. Why you all changing your mind? Okay, now when you change your mind, tell me what's wrong. Why cannot? I'm not going to square root a negative number. I am going to bring it over. Yeah, I have to because I want to evaluate for x. So I'm going to divide by negative 1 on both sides. I'm going to multiply by negative 1 on both sides. They are the same. So I get x plus 8 squared equals to negative 5. Then I'm very happy. I'm getting closer. Then I want to square root now, right? Can square root or not? Cannot. Because your calculator will tell you maths error. But do you know why? Do you know the reason why cannot? I've explained it to you before, right? Just now. Okay, yeah, so this is impossible. What other numbers are there? Decimal. Shall we try decimal? What possible decimals are there? Okay, let's try negative 4.12. Possible or not? Possible? Yes, it is possible. Negative 4.12. We get x plus 8 squared equals to 4.12, and I can square root this. Okay? Summary. X minus h squared. This is greater than or equal to 0. Always. Negative x plus h or minus h, doesn't matter. This is less than or equal to 0. Always. Do you see this? Okay. Another way of looking at this is, we know that this is equals to x minus h, x minus h. If one is positive, the other must be positive. If one is negative, the other must be negative. In summary, they always give us positive or 0. Right? Now what is this one? If I want to rewrite this, this becomes negative x minus h, x minus h. Correct? Okay? So x minus h, if it is positive, then positive times positive gives me positive times the negative sign. What do we get? Negative. Okay, let's say x minus h is negative. Negative times negative, positive times the other negative, negative again. So this must be less than 0, but it is still possible to be 0. Two ways of looking at it. Do you fully understand what's happening now? Yes. Okay, good. Are these basics? Yeah, they actually are. You should have known this for your N levels. Okay, now let's talk about graphs already. Because we have these two. If I were to expand them out, I will definitely get something like this. Y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. Y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. A, b, and c values can be positive, can be negative. I don't know. But we do know that we will get a parabola either opening upwards or parabola opening downwards. And we know that they must be symmetrical. We know that there are turning points, so on and so forth. So now, we look at our textbook. Class activity 1. I am going to use my favorite mathematical website. What is that? Who is that? Boring, right? Francis, what is my favorite site? Maths. The draw graph. Jia Yi knows, he's not even my math student. What is that website? Desmos. Okay, this is a wonderful website for us because it allows us to plot graphs very easily. Okay, from our textbook, they are talking about y equals to x squared. Okay, very easily. Y equals to x squared. See, I got a graph already. So this is my graph of y equal to x squared in this color. What is my y-intercept? Because that's what you need to fill in, right? What is the y-intercept? 0. Very good. We just write 0. That is the y-intercept. Let's talk about the line of symmetry. Is this graph symmetrical? Yes, it is a parabola. It must be symmetrical. Where is the line of symmetry? So I hear people say 0. Then they change their mind. They say x equals to 0. Is there a difference? What is the line of symmetry? Answer, 0 versus x equals to 0. What is the difference? 0 is a value, x equals to 0 is an equation, it is a line. So in this case, my line of symmetry, obviously it's a vertical line, right? Obviously, it is at the vertical axis, isn't it? What is the equation of that line? It is called x equals to 0. Okay, that's why we have over here x equals to 0. And what is the turning point? Turning point refers to this part over here. The minimum point. Coordinates 0, 0. Is the turning point minimum or maximum? Answer? Minimum. Very obvious, right? That's a minimum point. It can't get smaller than that value. So, next. Y equals to x squared minus 4. Y equals to x squared minus 4. Beautiful. We have another parabola. What does the textbook want us to find first? Y-intercept. What is the value? -4. Can you see it from here? Okay, write it down. Value -4. What is the line of symmetry? Line of symmetry. First, can you identify the line before you tell me the equation? Sure you can, right? Primary school kid also can identify, it's there. Just that the primary school kid don't know how to explain, don't know how to describe in maths. But you know. So what is the equation of that vertical line at the y-axis? What is the equation of the line at the y-axis? X equals to 0. Again, it is the same line of symmetry. X equals to 0. And what is the turning point now? -4, 0, -4. Don't mix up. X coordinate first. 0, -4. And is it a maximum or minimum? Minimum. Okay, at this point, without doing the rest, can you see a pattern developing? Either about y-intercept, line of symmetry, turning point, or minimum maximum point. Is there anything that you think this activity is trying to get us to understand or to realize? Okay, what about the line of symmetry? Do you think therefore it is always going to be x equals to 0? Okay, then what do you realize from this so far? Is there anything that you want to guess? There is insufficient information for now, okay? Is there anything you want to guess? The y-intercept. Okay, how do you think we get the y-intercept? He thinks there is something we should realize about the y-intercept over here. Is there some way that we can tell the y-intercept without plotting the graph? What? Sub x equals to 0. Okay, we sub x equals to 0. Is that a difficult thing to do? It's really easy, isn't it? When x equals to 0 for the first one, what is y? 0. When x equals to 0 for the second one, what is y? -4. Easy? Do you think you can do the rest already? Okay, let's just try them quickly, okay? Third one, what is the y-intercept? 2. Do it properly, step by step. When x equals to 0, what do we get? What do you get? You got 11. All agree? You can either use your calculator or you can do it by using mental sums. Mental sums not easy in this case. Sorry, not difficult in this case. Okay, next one. X plus 5 square minus 3. What do you get? How much? How much? If you're using your calculator, you cannot be getting it wrong. 22. What did we do to get 22? Sub x equals to 0. Why is x equals to 0? Because that is the y-axis. Y-intercept happens when x equals to 0. And the last one. What do you mean don't know? Come on, you can do it. What have we been doing to find the y-intercept? Sub x equals to 0. Just that in this case, I can't use my calculator anymore. So what is the value when x equals to 0? Try and think. What happens when x equals to 0? Substitute. 0 minus h square plus k. What do we get? H square plus k. Yeah, that's it. Is it difficult? Is it difficult? No, it's not difficult. Okay, next. Line of symmetry. Do you think you can get anything from... Do you think you can get all the lines of symmetry just by looking? Yes or no? For now, can or cannot? Some of you may, some of you may not. Let's try another example first. X minus 3 squared plus 2. Okay. X. Oops. X minus 3 square plus 2. X minus 3 square plus 2. Is that correct? Yeah, okay. X minus 3 square plus 2. Remember, let's check out the y-intercept first. You were thinking that it's 11. Is it correct? Oh, yeah, it's 11. Over here. Y-intercept is 11. Next, line of symmetry. Looking at a parabola, you must be able to recognize there is a line of symmetry. Vertical line of symmetry or horizontal? Obviously vertical lah. Where is the line? Where is it? Is it this one? What do you think the equation of this line is? X equals to 3. Let me just plot it out over here to verify. X equals to 3. Oh, you got it right. Right? X equals to 3. That is my line of symmetry. X equals to 3. What about the turning point? What's the turning point? This one, right? 3, 2. Okay, let's fill it in. And this is a minimum point. Okay. Okay, now we have 3 examples already. We are sure the y-intercept is done by letting x go to 0 and we find out the value of y. Is there some sort of pattern for us to tell the line of symmetry? Is it the after x the what? Okay, for those of you who think there is a pattern, can you describe it? Okay, so if you think you know, then can you tell me what is the next line of symmetry? What is the next line of symmetry? What are these numbers? Do they look familiar? Opposite. I didn't use the word opposite. Remember the exercise that I kept making you all do? When x equals to? Try and think about it. When x equals to 3, 3 minus 3 is 0. The whole expression is 0. That is why I wanted you to do this. Okay, this is how we get the line of symmetry. Okay, so I wanted you to keep saying this. So similarly, once you have the line of symmetry, my x coordinates will always be the same. The y coordinate, you find out for yourself what is the y coordinate. We will continue next session. Can?